Hey, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And this is Video Game Eats.
We craft your favorite foods from your favorite video games.
Today we're making
Deathclaw Wellingham.
And some Slocum's Buzz Bites. So before we get started today, we have to announce our 10K giveaway winner. We're super pumped to have hit that milestone, and we can't wait to see where it takes us in the future. Jay, what are we giving away?
We're giving away one of these dope t-shirts, one of these dope aprons,
one of these dope cookbooks, and a sticker pack. And the winner is... Congratulations! Thank you all for supporting us so far, and we're gonna dive right into this episode. So for our first recipe, we're gonna go ahead and start with a little dessert because we have to let our dough rise. We're gonna be making some Slocum's Buzz Bites. These things are delicious cinnamon sugar, coffee filling little donut holes. And these are gonna be a great ending to our Deathclaw Wellingham. So you're gonna need a thermometer because we're gonna be using some yeast right now. You gotta heat your liquids up to about 110 degrees to get that activated again. We're gonna go ahead and start with 2 tablespoons of butter right in our pan here. We're gonna get that on a medium heat. Let that start coming down. You can put all your ingredients in the same time. They're all gonna melt together anyway. We have a cup of milk here. Gonna add that in. Next in, we're gonna go 3 cardamom pods that we ground up. We also went and ground up 2 whole cloves. We're gonna throw that in there. We're also gonna take 1 cinnamon stick and drop it in. 2 star anise. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And get those in there. And we're gonna heat this up basically until your butter melts. And you're just trying to get all these flavors into that milk mixture. All right. Once we get our butter melted down in there and this is heated up to a light simmer, we're gonna go ahead and just take this milk and we're gonna strain it right into this bowl. Try to use a bowl with a pouring lip, otherwise you're gonna get stuff everywhere. If you're like me, if you're like Jeremiah, you know how to pour things properly, but I don't. So we're gonna go ahead and take this, strain it right into this bowl, just to catch all that extra stuff out of there that we don't want. Turn your burner off. Clean that up. And then all you're gonna do is let this come down to 100 to 110 degrees. It take a few minutes. We're at 150 right now, so in about 5 minutes, this will be ready to throw in 3 teaspoons of yeast. So now we brought this down to about 110 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and take 3 teaspoons of yeast. We're gonna add that in there. Then we're gonna take our wire whisk and we're just gonna whisk it in nicely. And then after you whisk it in, you're gonna let this set aside for about 5 minutes while you prepare your dry ingredients in your mixing bowl here. Once we have our yeast mixture set aside, we're gonna let that go for 5 minutes until it becomes a little frothy. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and take our metal mixing bowl. We're gonna take 3 1/4 cups of flour. We're gonna add that in, as well as a ½ teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And we're gonna take our other wire whisk and we're gonna go ahead and just whisk this together so those are nicely combined. Let's set that aside. And then we'll go ahead and just attach this to our mixer. Just like that. Set it in, lock it up. Make sure you lock it, otherwise this thing might fly off the table. It almost happened to me once and would have broken all my toes, but it didn't, so we're good. Okay, our yeast mixture is a bit frothy, so we're gonna go ahead and get this on stir, and we're gonna go ahead and start incorporating our ingredients. Just gonna dump that in nice and slow. Just let it come together nice. We'll let that go for a minute or 2, let that start coming together. Next in, we're gonna take 2 whole eggs, and we're gonna crack those bad boys in. Oh, 1 and 2. And the last thing we're gonna add is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna go ahead and crank this up. And we're gonna let it mix for about 5 minutes or until it becomes nice and smooth. And while that's going, you're gonna take a glass bowl and you're just gonna throw a little peanut oil in there. That's what we're gonna be frying with later. That's why we're using that, so we don't mix up any flavors. And you're just gonna grease it, because while that's rising, you do not want it to stick to the bowl. Oh God, wow, this thing's pretty powerful. And honestly, you don't even need that long. We're gonna go ahead and pull this right out. It's done. Just get it off your dough hook and pull it out. Drop it in your bowl. So now what we're gonna do is cover this up. And we're gonna let that sit for about 2 hours while it rises. And we're gonna prepare our filling. First step for our filling is gonna be 4 egg yolks going into this bowl here. Boom. We're doing a ½ cup of heavy cream. And 1/3 cup of cornstarch. And we're just gonna combine everything nicely. And I made an absolute mess as usual. Anything white and powdery just does not do well with me. And we're just giving that a quick mix. And this is going to go into our heated mixture, which we're gonna make next. So we'll set this aside for now. Next step for our filling, we're gonna take 1 cup of milk. We're gonna put our pan on medium heat. We're gonna add that in there. Next up, we're gonna take a ½ cup of our prepared coffee. We decided to use some Bones Coffee Co. Atomic Apple Fallout themed coffee. It's delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and take that, add it in with our milk. Next, we're gonna add in 3/4 of the cup of sugar. Ah, it's like a rainbow, but clear. We're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Give it a quick mix, just so everything starts mixing together. Then we're gonna grab some ginger, 1 teaspoon to be precise, as well as 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're just gonna mix this together. We want the sugar to dissolve and everything to come together nice. Keep mixing this up, and we're gonna go ahead and bring this to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're gonna turn our heat down to low, and then we're gonna go ahead and add it into our egg yolk, cornstarch, and heavy cream mixture, and whisk that up slowly. All right, so this finally came to a boil, so now the magic's about to happen. We're gonna go ahead and turn this to low. We're gonna get our egg yolk, heavy cream, and cornstarch mixture. And we're gonna take about a ½ cup of this and just add it in. You don't want the eggs to scramble, so you gotta make sure you whisk it up nice and fast. And you're just gonna temper this up to a good temperature so it doesn't turn into a scrambled egg. And then you're gonna do another ½ cup. And then we're gonna go ahead and take this and we're gonna add it right back into our mixture here. Get all that good stuff in there. And then you're gonna keep whisking this up. And then we're gonna bring this back up to a medium heat. And you're just gonna keep mixing until it thickens.
You look very intense, and you look very vibey.
We're just having a grand old time mixing this up. This is gonna turn out like our quantum pie, I'm sure of it. Ooh, it's getting so thick. All right, once you're thickened, we're gonna take this right off the heat. We're gonna take our tablespoon and ½ of butter, add that in, and then we're gonna whisk that in. And you should get something like that. Ooh. Now while this cools down, Jay's gonna start on our Deathclaw Wellingham.
Another lowlife coming to drink.
I've got
Does Deathclaw gives that? My word!
All right, so the next recipe is Deathclaw Wellingham. We're going with one of my favorite things, putting everything into a plastic bag. We have 2.5 pounds of Deathclaw shoulder. If you don't have Deathclaw, pork is fine. So we got 2.5 pounds in the bag. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of ground pepper. I have so much faith in the plastic bag, this off-brand Ziploc. All of that situated. Now get your favorite Dutch oven and put it to medium-high heat. From there, we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. All right, Dutch oven's hot. We're gonna put in our pork. All you wanna do is brown the pork. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes, and we're going to take all of the brown pork and put it onto this plate. After all of the pork has been removed, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our olive oil. So we pre-chopped, we have 2 celery ribs, 2 peeled carrots, and 1 leek. We're gonna put that in. We're also going to add onions and garlic. 1 medium onion and enough cloves of garlic that your auntie isn't upset. And then from there, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of rosemary and half a teaspoon of caraway seeds. The smells coming out of this pot with the garlic and the rosemary and the pork fat and just the onions, I'm very excited to eat. You can tell that it's been quite a while and we have not eaten yet. So we're gonna let this go for about 5 to 7 minutes or until all of the vegetables have softened. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna check out these vegetables here and see if they have been softened. Me, baby. The caraway and the rosemary come together, and then like the mirepoix come together, and then there's that garlic in there and the punch and the hit. Oh. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and deglaze the bottom with 2 ounces of vodka. 2 shots of vodka. Ah, yes, the smell of the vodka. Victoria Rosenthal, sometimes stroke of genius. Yum yum devil. Now that it's been deglazed, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir that up a little bit. The sweetness and acidity of the tomato is gonna go really well with this. Next, we're gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth, unsalted. And next, we're gonna add 2 cups of our mushrooms diced and 1 russet potato. So it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna re-add the Deathclaw back in, and we're also gonna add 2 more cups of chicken broth. And 2 bay leaves. And now we let this simmer for 15 minutes.
While we're waiting for that Deathclaw Wellingham to continue cooking, we're gonna go ahead and form our donuts. So first things first, we gotta take this dough that's been rising for 2 hours and we gotta give it a good punch. Boom. What that's gonna do is release all the gases in there, so it's a nice, malleable, formable dough. Ooh, it smells so, so good. We're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of flour so nothing sticks. We're gonna bang the table with it. Bang. And all we're gonna do is rip off little pieces Form them into little balls and just set these aside. And those are gonna have to rest for about 30 more minutes before we go ahead and fry them. All right, and once you have all these rolled out, you're gonna go ahead and let them rest for about 30 minutes. And then we're gonna deep fry them. But first, Jay's gonna finish up our Wellingham.
All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and pop this lid off. Enjoy the beautiful aromas coming off of the Deathclaw here. And go ahead and give it a little stir. Now we gotta fish out these bay leaves and we're gonna make a slurry. Cause I'm the slurry master. I'm the slurry man. I be making slurries. Everything's a slurry. The f out of here. We have a half a cup of water here and a quarter cup of cornstarch. We're gonna go ahead and make a slurry now. What is happening to me, dude? Go ahead and give it a slurry stirry, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna let this thicken up a little bit over the next about 5 minutes or so. All right, wastelanders and ghouls, the slurry has done its job. We're gonna go ahead and ladle all of this delicious Deathclaw into this pie crust dish, pie dish. We have 2 frozen puff pastries here. We're gonna go ahead and lay it over the top. It's a little small. I think we need to stretch it a little bit, no? Once you're done playing with your puff pastry, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna egg wash this. We're gonna throw it in our favorite nuke oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! Woo! All right, so we're gonna bake this for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. Next, Kevin's gonna fry up some Slocum Buzz Bites.
Finally, we're ready to start deep frying our donuts. I'm super excited for these. So all we're gonna do is just drop them in your oil, and those are gonna fry for about 1 minute on each side. And you gotta make sure your oil's up to 350 degrees so you get a nice even cook. You're gonna wanna fill it, you wanna leave a little bit of room for each of these, so. And these should only take about 2 minutes total, and you're just gonna wanna do one side and then flip them each over so they get a nice even cook on them. And 2 minutes later, we're gonna pull these out, set them on a paper towel, and let them start cooling. And then we're gonna throw our second batch in. Woo, that's hot. Careful there. You don't wanna do what I just did. They look really good though. And once again, 1 minute on each side, and then they'll be done. Boom. Now that we have our Buzz Bites fried, we're gonna go ahead and plate everything up. Man, 10 whole episodes of Fallout Eats. How crazy is that, Jay?
Yeah, nothing but delicious stuff.
Except for those yum-yums.
So today, what did we make?
We made some Deathclaw Wellingham and some Slocum Buzz Bites.
They were so much stuff to put in, so complex, and we are very excited to dig in. So we will tell you how we actually feel in 3, 2, 1. Boom. First thing is, tastes exactly how it smells.
Dude.
There's like no hidden, oh, it's incredible. Deathclaw's tender.
This is so good. This is absolutely, what is this? Get the out of here.
Whoops.
This is amazing, guys. This is something that you should definitely put on the list to make.
Some people out there are making their recipes. This is definitely one to strive for. Delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Hot, but good.
Time for a little buzz bite. Ooh, what's that? Crunch. Cheers, brother.
Buddy. The caramel apple coffee from Bones really comes through.
Oh my gosh.
I'm shocked at how caramelly and appley that is.
Slocums. This was an all-around great episode. These recipes are spot on. You gotta try these. Make sure you have a few hours set aside because it was kind of complicated, but overall.
Yes, longer than we thought. A lot. It's early in the wee morning. But as always, we really appreciate all your love and support. Thank you. If you liked it, please give us a subscribe. If you hated it, please give us a subscribe. Have a good one.
Good night, y'all. Good. Absolutely ecstatic.